Hey, what's up guys? It's Ethan. How's life? Good? Okay? Cool. So yeah, let's get into this interesting, to say the least, story time video. I really don't know where to begin with this story, and I promise it's not as bad as it actually sounds in the title. Like, you just have to bear with me here. It's interesting. I can't believe I'm telling this online. Okay, so anyway, I guess I'm gonna start from the beginning. I mean, I have to kind of backtrack this, so it'll make sense, I guess. But anyway, so one of my dad's many cousins got engaged. And the reason I said many is because my grandpa is actually one of 12 siblings, and their kids had kids, and their kids had kids, and so on and so forth, and each one of them had like 3 to 4 kids, and all of them live in the same town as me, so it's really hard not to run into someone that you don't know. But you know, whatever. I don't mind it. I mean, it's great. I like being close to family, so it's fun. Family reunions are interesting. We have to rent a whole church, and it's still crowded. Anyway, so basically one of my dad's cousins, he got engaged, and you know, we were like, oh cool, that's so exciting, like yay. We never met her before, and you know, they like, you know, send us invitations to like, or invitations, I guess it's an invitation, whatever you call fancy wedding invitations. I don't know, is that a thing? Surely it's a thing. I'm confused now, just never mind. I hate my life. So anyway, we got invited to the wedding, and this wedding was not how I expected it to be. Like, you know, you think of the typical like wedding. This was like, I feel like they said it was $50,000 to $60,000, like a freaking $50,000 to $60,000 wedding. Like, it was amazing. So, you know, we get dressed up all fancy. I've got my fancy little button-up shirt on and my fancy little khaki jeans. I do not wear dress pants. That's just not my thing, okay? Maybe for my, like, for prom or for, like, my wedding or my funeral is the only time I will be seen in dress pants, okay? That's just not how I roll. Anyway, so yeah, I was dressed all nice, my fancy boots on, everything like that. We ready to go. And, so we get there, and we pull up to this like ginormous house. It was so pretty. It was like, it was an old house. It was like, you know, late 1800s, 1900s, I don't know. And it was super fancy. There's this big white house, and then there was this huge barn in the, like, it wasn't in the backyard. It was like towards the side yard, and there was like a lot of property with it and stuff, and like the whole like actual wedding was gonna be taking place like in the backyard. There was like this big field, and it was so pretty. And yeah, so the barn, it was obviously new, like it was really pretty. It was like a modern fancy barn. It was awesome. And so the house was like really old, and they had like, you know, redone it. It was so pretty. This like wedding venue was amazing. And towards the front of the side yard, there was like this huge oak tree. This has nothing to do with the story, by the way. I just am trying to explain it. But it had this huge oak tree, and it had this really big like swing on it. It was like a rope swing with like a wooden seat. It was so pretty. I needed it in my life. I want it in my front yard like right now. But anyway, so we get there and we're thinking, oh my gosh, this is like amazing. And so we pull up, and they're like these all fancy little proper people, and they're like, they all open the door for each one of us, and we're like, oh, what are we, the queen? Like, okay, it was fun. I mean, I felt like I was famous or something. It was great. So, yeah, we got out and stuff, and they're like, what'd they say? They're like, can we take your coat? They didn't talk British. I felt like that fit the part. Okay. But anyway, so yeah, they drove the car away and parked it somewhere, and then we walk up this hill to the actual like house and the wedding and everything. And so it was super pretty, and like all of our family was there. Great time, like kind of like a big family reunion. We were just talking to people that we haven't seen in a while, like fun stuff. And then, you know, of course we all take our seat and stuff, and the whole wedding thing happens. All the people come down, the groom comes down, the preacher man dude thing, whatever he's called, comes down. Oh my god, I know words, I swear. You know, we got the whole thing coming in, everybody coming in, flower girl, little ring bearer dude thing. And then of course the bride. So the bride comes in, and I know what you're thinking. Like, you're probably thinking I like, you know, like destroyed the whole wedding then. No, it happens later. So, you know, we have the whole wedding, blah blah blah. Do you, blah 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 blah. Do you, blah 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 blah. You may now kiss the bride. And then on to the important part, the food. Or at least it's important to me, okay? I'm like, but anyway, so yeah, then, you know, everybody walks away, and then the bride and the groom are like off the grid for the moment, you know, like nobody knows where the heck they are. So then we head over to like the bar, and they like, the people that work there, I guess, like, you know, told us to go over there, and the doors were closed because they were still setting things up, and we were just, you know, waiting there, like, shouldn't this have been done? Okay. And so then, like, you know, the big giant sliding barn door things, they open, and this barn, oh my gosh. If I find a picture of it, I need to just put it in here somewhere if I can figure out how to edit that in, because I'm so not tech savvy. It's just not a good thing. But anyway, so if I find a picture, I'll try to figure out how to put it in, and if not, it won't show up, okay? But so it was this huge barn. It was like modern, obviously. It wasn't like a legitimate barn. It was like obviously like a wedding venue barn thing. I'm such a good explainer person. But anyway, so it was like concrete floor, and there was like a bunch of, you know, cute tables around everywhere. When you like walk in, there was like a DJ table thing, like right there, kind of catty corner-ish. Yeah, sure, you can understand things. And all the way at the back was like this big rock fireplace, and then there was like this huge chandelier too. It was like ginormous. And there was like sliding doors on each side to the fireplace. And and there was like a small room in the back with like stairs that went up, and there was like a balcony that overlooked the sides of the fireplace up above too, which was really cool. I think that's where like the bride and the groom and like their family sat. But it was really, really, really pretty, and like the whole like buffet area was like in that other room by the sliding doors and stuff. And so everyone had like assigned seating, and there was like, let's say there's like tables 1 through 14, I believe. Yeah, I think there actually was 14 tables, because we were on the last table. Thanks. We find our table after searching for like ever, because we can count. We're smart. And so we go over and we sit down, and like each seat was like assigned to, because it was like Ethan Samples, and then this person, this person, this person, this person, whatever. So I sit down in my chair, which of course, me being me, the crazy person over here, it has to be right next to the ginormous rectangle speaker, literally right next to me. So, and the DJ table is like right next to me too. I was like the closest person in the entire room to this speaker. So the whole night I'm just like, and it was horrible. It was like, I had a horrible headache. I went home like dead. But anyway, no biggie. That doesn't compare to what's about to happen to me. So then the DJ dude, he's like announcing like, table 1, it's your turn to go get your food. And so then everybody from table 1, they get up and they go get their food. And once they are completely done and they sit down, then table 2 goes. Table 3 goes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Finally, praise the Lord Jesus. 14. I was the last one to go. And I was the most hungry person. Ugh. Why must you do this to me? I need my food. By this point, I think that the bride and groom had already come through before they started announcing tables. I should have explained that before, but like before he announced like for table 1 to go and everything, the bride and the groom came in and it's like, yay, for the first time ever, Mr. and Mrs. Blah blah blah, because that's a last name. And so then they go like through the sliding doors and they go up the stairs like to this balcony thing that's like above the I lost my chain of thought here. The fireplace. There we go. Above the fireplace, like, and so they could like look down and see like all of us sitting down and stuff, and we could like look up and see where they were sitting. But anyway, dear Lord. So finally, like I said before, our table is finally called. And me and my sister were like, we were about to die at this point because like we didn't have anything for lunch. And this wedding was like, when was it? Like from like 4 to 6. And like, it's already like, or not 4 to 6. I think the wedding was literally like from like 4 to like whenever it ended or whatever. By this point, I think it was like 6 o'clock-ish, something like that. So we were like dead, okay? We only had breakfast that day. And, so you can see my point. We needed food. And, so we get to go, and I'm like the last person. Literally, I was the last person on our table. Thank you again, cousin. You're wonderful. But anyway, so I was the very last person to go. So like we all got in line, and, it was a weird like buffet thing after you got through those like sliding doors. So I was obviously at the back of the line, and so everyone goes, and like literally there wasn't really enough room for like more than maybe 2 to 3 people to go through this like small room thing, because it really wasn't like a legitimate room on the other side of the sliding doors. It was kind of like a like a big hallway, and there was like a table, and like you would go down and go or whatever. And so like right when I was about to walk through, the bride, I think you know where this is going, don't you? She had her man with her, and she was fixing to walk out of the door with her husband, one of my distant cousins. And right when I was fixing to walk through, she's walking out, and we just BAM! And I fall backwards really fast, and I slam my butt into this really hard concrete floor. It was just a wonderful experience. And she fell backwards, because of course she's in like a dress and heels, so she like falls backwards, and her husband, they were linking arms, so she just pulls him straight down with her, and it was just we had a party on the floor. It was a great time. I lied. It wasn't. Before I even like realized what happened, I was like on the floor. Like it literally knocked the breath out of me. I was like, what happened? And I'm pretty sure she felt the same way. And so I was like, what the heck? And of course there's like music playing, like everyone's eating. And I'm just like, I just killed the bride. And I freaked out. And so I stood up, and she stands up, and then he stands up, and then so she looks at me like, oh my gosh, and he looked at me, and I guess like he knew how I am and stuff, so he started laughing, and I was like, it was just this is just a really, I don't know if this is even entertaining to you guys, but I'm having a good time over here. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like, that was totally my fault. And she's like, no, it wasn't your fault. It was all my fault. Like, I hate you. Like, I wasn't looking when I was coming out the door. And I was like, yeah, neither was I. Like, it was totally my fault. And she's like, no, it's totally fine. And I was like, "Oh, it's nice to meet you. Welcome to the family." And so then she laughs and she's like, "Thank you, like it's nice to meet you." And then like I introduced myself, she introduced herself, and literally that was my first impression. Great first impression, Ethan. Like that was my first impression. And so he was laughing about it and she was like laughing about it, and you could tell that she felt really bad about it, and like I felt really bad about it. And so like she hugged me and I hugged her and I was like, "I'm so sorry." And then as she started to walk away, I was standing on her dress. So I almost ripped the bottom of a lady's dress, and then she looks at me and then starts laughing, and of course me again, I'm like it was just, oh my gosh, it was horrible. And then I like looked around to make sure nobody was like staring at me. Praise God, nobody was actually staring at me this time, which normally that happens a lot. Everybody just looks over like, "Oh, you're weird," because it's true. Yeah, so then I went and I got my food. I had a very sore butt for the rest of the night and a very bad headache for the rest of the night. I went to my table. I sat next to my sister. I was telling her about it and she like was laughing at me, and I don't even think I really told my parents about this story, so they probably don't even know about it. I think I subtly brought it up at the table, but like of course it was really loud. There was music going on and I don't think they really fully understood what I was talking about. My sister is the only one that like really knew about it, and this happened like several years ago. Not several years ago, maybe like 2 years ago, I think. Never mind, not the point. But I don't even know if she remembers it. I should ask her later and see if she remembers or not. But yeah, so it was very interesting. Really interesting. So yeah, that was my embarrassing experience, and the whole rest of the night, like I said before, I was just having my right eardrum exploding. And the DJ dude, he was very loud too, and he got a little cray-cray with the dance moves. And there was a lot of drinking at this wedding, and a lot of people, I'm assuming they got drunk, because I mean, I've never seen them crazier. And even the DJ actually got drunk, and it was, let's just say he got a little cray-cray, okay? It was weird. And then we decided to leave. And I think we literally walked out. I remember this because I felt like a amazing person just walking out. I'm so dramatic. I like walk to the beat of music, you know, like. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that. That's embarrassing. I'm just typically embarrassing. But I think they were playing the song "Turn Down for What," and we just like walked out to the beat of that, which probably looked like crap, but I felt like amazing, even though I had a horrible headache and a bruised butt. But so we walk out to the like the valet people stuff, and they're like, "Oh, what's your car?" And so like we told them, and I think they kept the keys. That whole concept is weird to me. Like, they could just steal your car. Like, who are these people? Like, honestly. So he drove it up, and then they all opened the doors for us and like help us get into the car. And so weird, but so cool at the same time. Like, you literally, I felt like a famous person for a night. It was fun, like, honestly. So they like help you get in the car, give you like your coats or whatever, and they're like, "Have a wonderful evening." We're like, "Thank you very much. We have left the building." And yeah, so then we went home and tried to get rid of my headache, and had a bruised butt for like several days after that. And I've seen the bride and the groom a lot, like around like at our county fair or at you know, family reunions, random get-togethers, and they've never brought it up before, and she's always been really nice to me. Like, I really like her. She's a really nice person. So she's always been nice to me, and he's always been nice, but like they've never brought it up again. So maybe everyone forgot about it and we're all good now. But yeah, so that's the time I almost killed a bride. Anyway, please like if you like this video. And please, please, please subscribe. And I really hope you enjoyed it. Bye!